All right, so I pulled out two of our competitors of what's currently on the market for a blanket with absorption and waterproof layer. So this is the Liberator and this is the Throws of Passion. They're both available on Amazon for over or around $100. So let's see how they do, because they don't actually have an absorption layer.
Right.
And yeah, so let's see. Go ahead and I'll do a cup. And I'm going to do this delicately because I don't want it all over my carpet, because I know they have no absorption, but let's just see what happens. Oh, just like a tarp.
So if you
yeah, I'll do the same thing.
Do the same thing.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and it's, you can see it. Can you see that pooling in between my fingers? So on the other one, on our blue ones that we tested, when I did this, it soaked in. It absorbed it. Here, it's just sitting on top like a tarp.
It's a puddle.
It's a puddle. I mean, zoom in on my hand. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's not going in at all.
It's not going anywhere.
So if you lifted that up, that's all going to be on your carpet.
Yep. I'm going to kind of gently fold this over and I'm going to wait. It's actually dripping through the bottom on my foot.
It does have a waterproof layer, so it's not going through, but it's dripping around the top, right?
Oh, look, luckily we have our blue blanket, which I'm just going to flip over and use it to absorb.
To absorb. Yeah, let's show that. Like, I mean, it's still a puddle. Do you see that moving?
So yeah, I'm pushing our blue blanket into the puddle from the Liberator that didn't go anywhere. And you can see that it is grabbing all of that, so it's not going to end up as a puddle on the floor. And there it is, soaked in.
Yeah, and if you come back to this,
it's still completely wet.
That is so wet.
Yeah,
that is not comfortable to put your skin against.
Okay, so that's the first competitor.
Yeah.
Let's see how the Throws of Passion does. And I'm gonna lay it all the way out like this so it doesn't drip onto my foot again. And try to avoid getting all over the carpet. So let's do 1 cup. Now the fleece does have some natural absorption. So it'll go in a little bit, but it's gonna hit the waterproof layer. You can see that is just a puddle. Zoom in on my fingers. So it's starting to go in, but there's no absorption. So if I press on it, the water's just gonna come out again because it's not actually absorbing it. But this one did perform a lot better than the Liberator, because now that once I push that into the fleece, it's not going to end up all over my floor.
It holds it, but again,
holds it, but it could drip.
When you push it,
if I push it, see that puddle?
The water comes out. So if you were laying on it, it just feels like a puddle.
Yeah, if you were laying on it, it would just continue to be a puddle. Whereas you can see on this, if I do the same thing, if I press on it, the water's not coming back out.
Yeah, it's in there. I mean, it feels
wet,
obviously, but it doesn't feel like you're in an inch of water.
Right, because this one, again, if I press on it, the water comes out. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
And then here, if I do the same, it's holding it
below the top layer.
Below the top layer.
Yeah.
All right, so that is our test of our final 3 samples. We're gonna pick one of those and you can see how it performs against the non-absorbing competition. And we're gonna go ahead and do our wash test to make sure that it really is easy care like the previous versions, and make sure it's the best possible product before we roll it out to sell to you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.